Homeless black man saves woman with heart condition unaware she's a CEO's wealthy wife. The winter wind sliced through the streets of downtown Chicago, unforgiving and sharp as Marcus pulled his threadbare coat tighter around him. Homeless for the last 2 years, Marcus knew the city better than most, but not from tourist guides or Uber routes. He knew it by the warmth of subway grates, the kindness of church basements, and the rare smile of strangers who still saw him as human. It was just after 9 a.m. when he spotted her, an elegant woman in her 50s, standing alone at the corner near Millennium Park, clutching her chest with trembling fingers. Her expensive coat and designer boots screamed wealth, but her face told another story. She was in pain. Serious pain. Marcus didn't hesitate. "Ma'am? You all right?" he called out, rushing toward her. Her knees buckled just as he caught her. She collapsed into his arms, gasping. "Heart, can't breathe," she whispered. Without thinking, Marcus lifted her, surprisingly strong despite his wiry frame, and flagged down a cab. The driver hesitated at the sight of Marcus's worn-out clothes, but one glance at the woman convinced him. "She's having a heart attack," Marcus yelled. "Get us to Mercy Hospital fast." At the hospital, as nurses and doctors took over, Marcus disappeared into the waiting area. He didn't want trouble. He didn't expect thanks. He just hoped she'd be okay. He sat there for hours unnoticed until a tall, sharply dressed man burst through the ER doors with panic in his eyes. "Claire, where's my wife?" the man demanded. Marcus stood up slowly. "Is she okay?" The man turned sharply. "Who are you?" "I'm the one who got her here," Marcus said simply. Turns out Claire Bennett wasn't just anyone. She was the wife of Richard Bennett, the CEO of a billion-dollar global logistics empire. She was also a philanthropist known for her work in women's health. The doctors said Marcus saved her life. If he'd waited even 5 more minutes, she might not have made it. 2 days later, Marcus was still sleeping in the park. That's when a sleek black car pulled up next to the bench where he lay huddled beneath a blanket. It was Claire. She stepped out, still pale but smiling, and sat beside him like they were old friends. "You saved me," she said. "I just did what any decent person would," Marcus replied quietly. She shook her head. "No, you didn't. Most people would have walked by. You didn't." A pause. "What's your name?" "Marcus Johnson." "Well, Marcus Johnson," she said, her voice steady, "how would you feel about not sleeping on benches anymore?" Within a week, Marcus had a place to stay, a warm apartment arranged by Claire. But that wasn't all. Richard, grateful beyond words, offered Marcus a job at one of his company's distribution centers. Entry-level, sure, but with benefits, training, and the dignity of steady work. Marcus accepted, humbled but determined. Months passed. Marcus proved himself. Reliable. Honest. Always helping others, even volunteering on weekends at a food bank. One afternoon, Claire invited him for lunch. This time, not out of gratitude, but friendship. "You know," she said, sipping her tea, "Richard and I were talking. We're starting a new outreach program, Second Chances for the Unhoused. I want you to help us lead it." Marcus blinked. "Me? But I'm just—" "You're exactly who we need," she interrupted. "Someone who's lived it. Someone who gets it." And so the man who once had nothing became a bridge for hundreds of others to find hope. Not because he sought reward. Not for fame. But because one cold morning he saw someone in pain and acted with compassion. Kindness doesn't need wealth to be powerful. It just needs heart. And sometimes a heart saved saves many more in return. The end.